What's going on, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management, back here to bring you guys a little recap of Thursday 21st of October trading and some very funny after hours movement from a lot of different stocks. Now we're going to start off with SPY. SPY had a great day, and I think tomorrow we're going to see all-time highs. It's just been uptrending. It's pulled back a little bit, and every time it's just continued uptrending. I mean, yes, I've talked about SPY dropping back to the 429 level or so, but it really hasn't. Just kept on going. Today it was at around 452 before selling off all the way back to 451 on a very heavy pullback. But then by market close, it just started pumping towards 453 and beyond. Now after hours, of course, it's dropped off a little bit, but I believe tomorrow we're going to be back uptrending towards the all-time highs. So next stock I want to look at is Snapchat. Snapchat just announced earnings about half an hour ago, and check this out. Now it tanked 24%. So the first thing I'm going to be looking at tomorrow once market opens is the snap calls for about a week out. Now, funny enough, just before market closed, I was looking at the Snapchat calls for around $78 expiring next week. But now it looks like I'm going to be looking at the $60 calls for next week, because this has a long way to go. It's got a long way to recover. Just like Pinterest, just like other stocks have had recently when they've sold off really heavily. You might have seen Sava did the same thing. They have such a nice gap to fill upwards. So Snap is definitely what I'm looking at tomorrow. And again, this is a very crazy drop, especially after the earnings we just had. So I'm going to look into it more. There's going to be more news out, I'm sure. And I think one thing you guys need to note is Snapchat has kind of pulled a lot of sympathies with it. Check Pinterest after hours. This is tanked, dropped off just anyhow. Again, purely because of Snap, at least in my opinion, purely because of Snap. So social media stocks. Facebook tanked 5.5% before rising again and then falling again. It is just going nuts. Check out Twitter as well. All these social media stocks, all these advertising platforms. Check this out. Twitter dropped 5%. Same exact movement as Facebook did. And funny enough, even though it's not social media stock, but it is an advertising platform, check out Google now. Google, after hours, dropped off heavily as well. Same exact movement. So it looks like it's all these advertising platforms. That is what they have in common. I know usually people talk about social media or low cap or large cap or electric vehicles or tech. Here it just looks like it's advertising platforms. So that's one thing to note from this video. Advertising platforms are looking good for calls maybe 30 to 45 days out in the future. Now a couple of other stocks I want to look at which dropped off heavily after hours. First of all, ROKU. ROKU, some reason, has just tanked 3%. I am not even sure why. But what we like with all these is potential opportunities. When these kind of stocks drop off, well, we can start looking at finding levels of support where the stock bounces along before uptrending again. I wouldn't be surprised to see this stock start rallying soon enough. Don't know when, of course, but soon enough. I wouldn't be surprised to see the stock rallying. And I want to look at Apple as well. Apple had some weird movement after hours, but it's not as bad as the others, and it's slightly down, but it's okay. Now I want to look at a stock which rallied today, DWAC, Digital World Acquisition. You may have heard some news to do with Donald Trump, yes, our old friend who used to help us pump the stock market, and this stock is up 357% on the day. You read that correctly, not the options, because there are no options on this. There are warts and warrants, but not options. The stock is up 370% on the day. If I'm not mistaken, it hit $49 briefly. It started the day around $12. Check the stock in the past week. Zoom. That's all we can say. Zoom. It's just gone crazy. By the way, it just IPO'd today, so today was the first day trading it. But it is ridiculous what this stock has done today. Will it continue? I don't know. Is it going to go to $100? Maybe. But please, if you are going to trade this, use your stop losses. Of course, you're mostly likely going to be buying shares. Just be wary of what the movement can do. You guys know these stocks can get ridiculous. Of course, if there were options on this, man, you'll be turning 100 or 200 to 50k, something like that, especially with short-term expiries. But right now, it's just warrants on this one. Let's have a look at SAM, as in Boston Beer, ticker symbol SAM. I think they announced earnings just about 30 minutes ago as well, just like Snap. But Boston Beer is kind of doing the same movement as Facebook, as Pinterest, as Twitter, as all those stocks. I'm not sure if Snapchat is just dragging all these with them. I don't believe it's the case with Boston Beer, but at least with those other ones, that was definitely the case. So it's kind of just had its weird day, and then after hours crazy movement. Last stock I want to look at right now is FedEx, ticker symbol FDX. The reason I want to look at that is because this is doing something similar to Pinterest. So, you know what? Let's look at Pinterest first. Pins, past, I'd say a week. Look at the weekly chart. Oh, it's down even more now after hours. So that's the weekly chart, all right? Look at the monthly chart. Okay, now let's look at FedEx. And let me just point out something. Pins just jumped up yesterday, had a great run from around $55 all the way up to $64. Look at FedEx. I think FedEx is going to do something similar. So ignore the day, look at it on the week. It's uptrending nicely. On the month, it's had a weird month, but look at the past year. Now this is what I really want you guys to see. So we're here, 232. We were at 315 back in June. That's a big jump up, right? Over the past year. Look at this pattern. Up, down, up really nicely, and then down bad. Look at pins over the past year. It should have a similar pattern, I believe. Up, and it's kind of been just downtrending, and then obviously from June all the way down to where it is now before the run starts happening again. FedEx is looking very similar for something like this. So keep your eyes out on FedEx for those calls. Maybe I'll say November, possibly December calls if you have the money. It will definitely be a good opportunity, I'd say, at this point. Maybe look at 250 calls if you're feeling optimistic for, I'd say, 2 months, December, I'd say. So keep your eyes out for FedEx. We'll probably touch on it again in future videos. And lastly, I just want to look at the cryptocurrencies. Let's go to TradingView. Cryptocurrencies had their sell-off today. They started off the day pretty nicely. Bitcoin reached new all-time highs. Ethereum was close to new all-time highs. But then they started to sell off. So that was unfortunate. Let's have a look. Here is Bitcoin, BTC. So from this morning, where it hit 66K, 66.9K, it sold off all the way now to 62K. It's down, it's under the 200-day SMA. If you look at the past 5 days, though, it's just been uptrending nicely. So it was kind of time for a bit of a pullback. By the end of the year, who knows where we could be. Past few months, it's been really strongly uptrending, especially since the past month or so. And Ethereum is the other one I pointed out. Ethereum, hold on. Nope, you want Ethereum US dollar. Yeah, this is the one. So Ethereum now just above 4K, it's still up nice if you look at the past 5 days. But what I want to point out is, again, just like Bitcoin, this morning hit 4.3K, which is really good for Ethereum, all-time highs. Then it sold off and it's been kind of consolidating for the past few hours. I believe we'll be back up at the 4.3K within a couple of weeks by the end of October. But don't forget this when you look at cryptos. Past 6 months, it's up very, very strong since the pullbacks to 1.7K in July. So with cryptos, it's probably best you just keep buying and keep holding. So I'm definitely intrigued to see what the market does tomorrow. I'd love to see SPY at new all-time highs. That, of course, means puts on the VIX. And oh, Tesla just caught my eye. I forgot about Tesla. Tesla, we briefly hit $900 today before we pulled back. Here it is. Within the first hour of the market open, briefly hit $900 and what, 30 cents, I believe, $900.07 maybe. Let's zoom in a little bit. Yeah, but either way, we hit $900 and then we sold off a little bit. Intrigued to see what it does tomorrow. Right now it's down a few dollars, it's around $891 right now. But Tesla had finally hit 900. So those $880 calls, $900 calls I mentioned at the beginning of the week became in the money very briefly. The 880s and the 890s are still in the money right now. But that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed this recap. I go into making, you go into making. See you guys next time for another video. Peace.
Game over.